My parents threw me out in 11th grade for being pregnant. After 22 years, they knocked. We want to see the baby. I opened the door and smiled. Baby? What baby? Their faces drained when I added, You have no idea who I became. I'm Chelsea Norton, 39 years old, standing on the edge of a moment I've been crafting for 22 years. My parents, Patrick and Andrea Norton, threw me out at 17, pregnant and terrified, their voices like knives slicing through the humid Austin air. You're a failure, Dad spat, his watch glinting as he adjusted it, dismissing me like a bad investment. Mom's cold gaze lingered on her manicured nails, her words sharper than any scream. You've ruined our name. They gave me 10 minutes to pack, the family photo on the mantel flipped face down, erasing me. The door's lock clicked shut, leaving me alone in the Texas night, my heart pounding like a drum in my chest. Today they showed up at my doorstep, pounding as if they owned it, demanding, Let us see our grandchild. My hand trembled but held steady as I opened the door, rage simmering beneath my calm. What child, I said, my voice ablade. Their faces drained, eyes wide with shock, as the truth landed like a slap they'd earned. This wasn't just revenge, it was a fire I'd stoked for decades, a plan to dismantle their world. They thought suing me would bend me, claiming rights to a legacy they'd abandoned. They were wrong. What unfolded exposed their greed, turned their allies against them, and left them begging for mercy I'd never give. If you've ever dreamed of perfect payback, stay with me. You won't believe how this ends. That doorstep moment tore open scars I'd buried deep. I can still feel the weight of that night 22 years ago, the air thick with betrayal. In our Austin living room, I held up the pregnancy test, my hands shaking. Dad's face twisted, his voice ice cold. You're no daughter of ours. Mom's silence cut deeper, her eyes avoiding mine as if I were a stain. The click of that photo frame hitting the mantel echoed like a gavel. I stuffed clothes into a bag, grabbed the necklace I'd hidden, a cheap silver chain, the only thing truly mine, and slipped out with a few dollars from my savings. The door locked behind me, the sound final, like a coffin nail. The Texas night swallowed me, humid and heavy, my breath catching as I stumbled into the unknown. Then came Derek Sloan's betrayal, a wound that burned hotter. At prom, his hand on my waist felt like a promise, his whispers under the stars painting a future. But when I told him I was pregnant, his voice cracked over the phone. Oh. Days later, his number was blocked. His parents' lawyer sent a letter, denying everything, threatening me if I reached out again. His college dreams outweighed our love, leaving me with nothing but fear and a growing ache inside. His silence was a second abandonment, stripping away the last shred of trust I had. Austin's streets became my crucible. I slept on benches in Zilker Park, the humidity clinging to my skin, rationing tears to save strength. Passers-by stared, their judgment a mirror of my parents' disgust. Each rejection, Dad's dismissal, Mom's disdain, Derek's cowardice, built a fire in me. On a cold bench at dawn, I swore they'd pay, not with reckless anger, but with a plan, sharp and calculated, to turn their greed against them. Kayla Rhodes found me then, a widow in her 70s, her cashmere coat stark against my ragged jacket. Walking her old dog, Max, at dawn, her sharp eyes saw through my lie of, I'm fine. You're freezing, child, she said, her Texas accent warm, sitting beside me as I broke, her hands steady on my back. She offered breakfast, no questions asked. Her car smelled of lavender, the heated seats thawing my numb body as we drove to her sprawling Austin home. Kayla didn't just give me a room in one of her hotel's spare suites. She became my mentor, teaching me survival and revenge over morning coffee. Build yourself so strong they regret letting you go, she said, her voice firm. Use their weaknesses like tools. From hostess at her hotel chain, I learned inventory, scheduling, profit margins, her lessons masking deeper teachings in patience and payback. Her investigators, unbeknownst to me, were already digging into my parents' lives. Kayla's office became my classroom. She showed me how to read guests' faces, turning complaints into loyalty with a calculated smile. I absorbed every detail, managing shifts, spotting profit leaks, not just to survive, but to forge an unbreakable shield. Each demanding patron taught resilience. Each late-night shift honed my focus. Over coffee, Kayla shared stories of outsmarting rivals, her hands gesturing as she drilled patience as the key to outlasting enemies. One evening, amid stacks of papers, she introduced Sean Barrett, her lawyer, his handshake firm, his eyes steady. He's not just for papers, Kayla said. He's for protection. Sean joined our strategy talks, sharpening my plans with trust setups and evidence trails to trap the greedy. Then, Shannon Lyle, from the hotel's IT desk, taught me to track digital footprints, her fingers flying over keyboards as she showed me firewalls and surveillance. We bonded over late-night system fixes, her lessons in monitoring without traces armoring me against the past. The miscarriage hit like a storm, leaving me hollow for weeks. Kayla guided me through adoption at a Texas shelter, her contacts speeding the process. I found Austin Norton, a baby with curious eyes that mirrored my resolve, his tiny hands grasping mine as if he knew we were bound. I named him after the city that broke and rebuilt me, raising him with love and strategy, enrolling him in coding camps by age 8. His first program, a simple app at 10, solved real problems, no accident but design. I knew his success would draw them out, their envy a weakness I'd exploit. Kayla wove everything into preparation, her will a fortress barring abandoned blood from claims, the safe's code tied to Austin's adoption date. Her video warnings, recorded in her study, spoke of greed's blind spots, her face serious as she condemned cowards who discard family. Over dinner, we practiced scenarios, her role-playing their excuses with eerie accuracy, her laughter sharp when I countered perfectly. My empire grew, brick by brick, expanding Kayla's hotel operations, investing in Austin's tech scene, each success a step in the plan. I fed stories to local tech sites about Austin's software, optimizing hotel operations, ensuring viral coverage in networks my parents haunted. Headlines screamed, "Local whiz kid transforms industry," shares spiking as I tracked the echo reaching them. Days later, a tablet arrived from my parents, a card reading, "For our talented grandson." I shipped it back, my note shaky. This brings back too many painful memories. On their follow-up call, my voice wavered. Why now? Baiting them to think I was fragile. Shannon's tools caught their searches on Austin's name, Texas family law, and inheritance claims, cataloging their greed. Derek's encrypted chats with my parents, plotting to leverage Austin's fame, surfaced too, his startup's failure fueling his desperation. Their oversteps mounted. My parents cornered Austin at a coffee shop, their forced smiles met with his polite brush-off, coached by me. Andrea's social media posts, lamenting estranged kin, were linked to hired influencers, Shannon's analysis exposing their pity play. Each move lured them deeper, their sloppy emails and calls ammunition for their downfall. I sowed distrust, Shannon sending anonymous emails, one hinting Derek skimmed their funds, another suggesting my parents would cut him out. Their replies grew erratic, Patrick accusing Derek, Derek snapping back. I dangled Austin's software, valued at $10 million, in a traced call, watching their greed spike. Their threats escalated, voicemails promising lawsuits, Derek's slimy tone claiming fatherhood. I leaked a doctored trust fund clause implying Austin's wealth was mine alone, sparking their frantic emails. Shannon snagged every piece, from Patrick's searches on grandparent rights to Derek's chats with a shady consultant. Their mistrust peaked in a recorded call, Patrick accusing Derek of betrayal, Derek firing back. Their lawyer filed a lawsuit for visitation and inheritance, but Shannon intercepted it, Sean dismantling its errors. Their public post, pleading for sympathy, was traced to a PR firm, the evidence stacked, their reckless demands crumbling. At the Austin Tech Summit, Austin's keynote opened with loyalty over blood, his blazer sharp, his voice steady. Kayla's video played, her words cutting, "Cowards discard their own." Sean displayed their signed document, relinquishing rights to me and any offspring, gasps rippling as phones captured it. Their emails flashed next, exposing their plot. I stood, voice calm but lethal. "You demanded my child, but your cruelty caused my miscarriage. Austin is adopted, not your blood." The room erupted, their faces collapsing. Security served restraining orders, escorting them out, their humiliation live on tech feeds. The fallout was swift. Clips of their exit went viral, their real estate firm losing contracts, Patrick ousted as chairman. They sold their home at a loss, retreating to a cramped Scottsdale condo, their social circle gone. Derek faced an IRS audit, Shannon's tip uncovering $500,000 in unpaid taxes, charges looming. I offered no mercy, my silence deliberate as Sean crushed their legal challenges. The Kayla Rhodes Foundation, funded with $1 million, launched to support single mothers, its opening event a triumph. Surrounded by grateful faces, I proposed to Sean, his grin wide as Austin cheered. The first grant went to a 19-year-old coder, her toddler in tow, her eyes echoing my lost hope. Revenge, served cold, is the sweetest, A life so strong it outshines those who tried to break me.